Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Florian Thirion, Maritime Marketing Manager. We will start the webinar by explaining our approach to you, what makes OceanFinder different from other maritime tools, and the new functionalities within OceanFinder. Then Olivier, OceanFinder Product Owner, will show you how OceanFinder works with a live demo of the interface. Finally, Etienne, our Maritime Sales Manager, will describe the main use cases and the key benefits of using this service. At the end of the presentation, we'll have a Q&A session where all your questions and feedbacks will be more than welcome. We all know that many potential threats and illegal activities occur at sea, such as piracy, drug trafficking, illegal fishing. Today, the current approach that navies, Coast Guard, and local authorities take is to use patrol vessels and aircraft. This approach is necessary and should still be used, but this method can only cover a small part of the ocean, are not cost-effective, and resources are limited. In addition, our world is becoming more and more digital. We can all agree that technology makes our life easier and increases effectiveness. Facing all these challenges, the role of satellite technology is becoming more and more necessary and offers effective additional support to current flying platforms and patrol vessels. To give you access to a maritime satellite service, we have created OceanFinder specifically for you, a solution designed for the challenges of tomorrow. What is OceanFinder? OceanFinder is a unique and innovative interface that allows customers to directly order satellite-based maritime detection and identification reports to monitor ships and activity at sea. What makes it different from other interfaces and tools? We provide access to the most complete constellation with both optical and radar satellites, whether independent and highly cost-effective, offering the ideal combination between coverage, resolution, and detail. You will see in real time all the satellite acquisition plans available for the current day and following days, with the option to order either in standard mode, when there is no need for high priority. You will be able to order 24 hours before acquisition and be delivered within the next 24 hours. Keep in mind that it is a commitment. Sometimes we will be able to deliver the information in less than 6 hours. Or you can order as well in urgent ordering mode within 6 hours before acquisitions. For your information, the emergency mode will be soon available with a dedicated 24/7 team. This means that you will be delivered close to the real time. You will have the option to self-select the most appropriate product according to your requirements, coverage with resolution. Each of your reports will be automatically correlated with AES data, enabling the precise location of a non-responding vessels to be identified in near real time. This is possible to the new Exactors real-time feed. We have also created a vessel prediction tool named Locator to support you during your tasking. This service delivers vessel position and future route prediction by using different parameters such as location, heading, and speed. This service is currently being tested with our early adopters and will be deployed shortly on the interface. We have different price models available. You can choose to pay as you go or with annual subscription. If you are willing to choose one of the following annual packages, please note that each of them are based on standard modes and include a discount from 5 to 15%. We procure best-in-class automatic and human analytics based on our powerful proprietary algorithms to determine vessel identification, detection, classification in seconds. Our highly skilled in-house image analysts provide value-added intelligence, including rapid rapid interpretation of specific behavior or threats, and finally, data processing tool system to extract relevant open source data. Following your order, you will receive the vessel detection report directly in your workspace, with the possibility to display the report within the interface. Vessel detection reports include near real-time information regarding vessel positions, IES data, relevant contextual information such as size, heading, speed, and finally, a very high-resolution quick look of the vessel. I'll now pass over to Olivier, who will show you a live demo of OceanFinder.
Thank you, Florian. Welcome, everybody. It's a great pleasure to present you now the interface. We'll try to do it in the most interactive way. Two main highlights regarding this brand new web portal. The first is you have to keep in mind that OceanFinder is very adapted tool for reactive needs. That means we try to optimize as much as possible the urgent ordering of our satellite products based. And the second is you will see during this slide presentation that there are sometimes a lot of information just to help you to understand why you can use and how you can use the service. And there are also a set of different actions you can have through the same interface. So when you enter in the website, you are facing a light tutorial that indicates you first of all that you have some layers, some tools that we will display later on. These are the main products we will deliver through this interface. So you can see that we are very lightly mentioning that this is satellite imagery, but we prefer to call the products for the type of information that it will bring. So for your information, you have a type of product that could be affected by cloud coverage, which is constituted by optical-based data. So you have the target classified products, and we have another set of products that are in less sensitiveness with the cloud coverage, which is more based on the radar imagery from classified non-sensitive to detect up to scan products. So all of these products they have their own resolution and coverage, and we will display that during the presentation as well. Then you will see that you can be informed of each product, saying that you will have a highlight of what kind of detection, what kind of details you can bring. When this product will be required on the field, when we will deliver the information, you will have also the time left to order the product, which could be very important for urgent ordering when you have a few hours or few minutes before this deadline. And then you will have the possibility to directly add it in the basket, and we will see how you will manage this basket, thanks to the fact that you keep in mind that you will directly order the products. There is no, it's an automatic process behind after when you just click on the ordering. So now let's get started with the interface itself. So what you can see, there is a map with, okay, it's an open layer based map. We display an interactive exclusive economic zone, which is a very important information for many maritime application. And in this on the right corner, you can see different tools. So the access to the different layers, so including this EZ that you can discard. You can clean up as well the graticles, and you will have also the possibility to display first nautical charts. So first accepting this light disclosure, because we insist on the fact that this is definitely not a navigation system, it's just a help decision tool. And after accepting this fact, then you have access to a global catalog of the French Hydrographic Institute, saying that by zooming on certain areas, you will have a lot of details such as bathymetry, vessel traffic system, and so on. So very, very common, typical nautical chart that will help you in knowing if during your location you are on the right place and right positioning. And the other tool or the layer, and the last one is the time zone. So why we display this kind of API is because all the satellite imagery are always tasked ordered in UTC time. So what is displayed here in the banner. So when you have to take into the account this clock when you would like to order products. And if you want to calculate when you are in different region, what is the difference between this UTC time and your local time, it's easier to observe directly and to calculate easier this difference when you have when you know exactly how many hours you have to add or retrieve from this UTC time. So that's for the layers. Then I will move to the left part of the tool. So the most important for us is, of course, having the capacity to display directly all the products available on a certain location. So, for example, if I go straight to Canary Islands, it's just an example, but you will see that how it could work very rapidly. And it's more or less what we already present in the tutorial film. So as soon as you are happy with the location, you can open this panel, which will list you in 1 week all the available products in our capacity to task them. So you will find again all the products are already mentioned at the very beginning in the tutorial. If you want to have all the list on a row, so you can go down to all this capacity, you can see again this acquisition time, the delivery time. So our commitment today, as Florian said, it's 24 hours after the acquisition, which is a maximum commitment. But of course, due to our capacity to deliver it more rapidly, it will be done. It's more on the best effort. But the commitment is not to be up to the 24/7 opening hours. So you can find here the countdown thanks to the deadline for ordering these products. There is also some filters, so you can filter during this week for a certain date. If you are not interested in a whole week, you can filter on the sensitiveness of the products. You can filter the product itself if you are just interested in one type of products. And then, of course, you can reset all of them. And if you want to have more information or going back to the tutorial, for example, you can, by this question mark, going back to some information regarding the price list, the tutorial I present, and also the timeline guide that will help you in the understanding for all the products what are the commitments in terms of ordering and delivery. So it's just for your information. For each product, if you don't know exactly if that fits with your needs, you have also this question mark already always accessible. And when you click on that, you have some light information of what kind of targets could be detected, what kind of detail you can get, the coverage of the footprint of the products, and if it's a sensitiveness or not sensitiveness products. And you have the possibility by clicking here to download directly a sample of the ship detection report we provide, which is a KMZ file from now. And all these products you will see, and you can click on all of them. You have this light information. It's just a help to guide you in the selection of which product could be in line with your expectation. So as soon as you have this list, so as you can see, you have the urgent ordering. So just to highlight this product, we are on the 19, and this product is on the 20th. That means it's for tomorrow, 11 UTC. So of course, that means this acquisition will be made tomorrow morning, but you still have 12 hours to order it. So you can be also interested in having urgently this information. And the last but not least information available is the coverage of these products. So just by clicking on it, you will have the footprint of this product on the field. And if you want to let's say compare what is the coverage between this classify S and target, you see directly all the two products, what kind of coverage they can cover all of them. So saying that, what I propose is showing you a typical customer journey if you want to order several products on the location. For example, the typical scenario is locating in the VTS in the Canary Islands, and anybody could be interested in knowing if there are some fishing vessel in this vessel tracking system, which is not allowed. So the first question could be how and when can I have the information? So you can interrogate again the new list of products available on this very location. So again, you will have this possibility, and then just by clicking again on the product, simply add it in the basket. So you see that we have one product now. You could be interested in having a more precise product. As you can see, the coverage is lower, but you will have more details. And for that, you can see that between these two islands, you could be also interested in having more information in the whole location. So you can just move every single product, refresh the acquisition, and then going back to the basket and adding it in the basket. So of course, each time you move coverage, you need to refresh the information because it's strongly linked to the satellite passes and so on. So this one, we can then add it in the basket as well. And the very last one, for example, if I want to cover a very large area, we can go for this scan product. So if I want to have information, as you can see, that cover up to 55,000 square kilometer, and just adding it in the basket, and then, okay, as soon it will be added. Okay, this is our basket. So you can find again all the products. So this one and this one are probably, it depends on when you would like to get it, but you can remove this one, for example, because it's not very useful. You have the coverage of the large scan. This is, we know that it's a radar imagery, but you can have this interest to cover a large area or just focusing with the optical imagery. So this is a typical scenario when you can add different products, different dates, but you can also be interested. So you can also clean up the basket, of course, and you can also be interested in, for example, having only one product, but at several dates. So in that case, you can add just directly. For example, I will just select this one because it's just a product that is of interest for me. And I will add different dates in my basket, okay, for 1 week. And okay, let's say for 5 days. And then you find again in your basket this kind of monitoring capacity for up to the 23rd of September. So that's another possibility for sure. And if I want to confirm that, I just have to confirm my selection. I can add some information normally, yeah. So some details. So for example, finding fishing vessel. Why it's interesting to add that kind of information? It's because our photo analyst will receive these comments, so up to 254 characters, and then that they can guide them in what kind of target you are looking at. And then just by accepting terms and condition, this is quite normal, and it's just a term and condition you accept already during the subscription. You submit your order, and you will have confirmation message saying that this order is confirmed. So this is the typical customer journey. Now I will just go the second question. Okay, when I receive my reports, how can I see them, or how can I retrieve them? So in my reports section, what you have here, you have the capacity to have the list of all the available products. So of course, this is my own one, and you will see that I've got several products. And I have two capacities. The first is to download the products, the KMZ file, and display from Google Earth. but I have also the capacity to display directly the product on the map. So for example, if I click on this one, this is a typical KMZ file where you see the footprint of the area. And by clicking on each vessel, I see the details, including the quick look of the vessel. And this can be done for all different products you already have in your My Report section and so on. One thing that will be also available very soon is the capacity to add some bookmarks. So today, it's something that is necessary if you have a typical location when you want to go back on. So for example, here, you just have to, okay, I will add this location, you save it. I go somewhere else, okay, all over the world, I don't know. And it's just by going back to this section that you have all the bookmark here. And if you want to locate directly on this bookmark, then you have this capacity. Because we are not working with a area, region of interest, but just by location, it's important to keep this location in your own user database. The last tool that Florian talked about is the Locator. So today, just something that we are working on. So it won't appear today on the operational interface, but I can't wait showing how it will work later on. It's just the capacity through a very light information coming from the last positioning of the site. So that means as soon as you position the location of the vessel, that you can also enter through these light tools in decimal degree or degree, minutes, seconds. So you can position directly the site, and this very location, you can add the last date when you know the vessel were at this location, the hour as well. Okay, let's see like this. You can add a heading, the last known heading of the vessel again, with a certain uncertainty, okay? So it's up to the user, and the speed as well. You can enter a well-known speed with a certain uncertainty as well. And at the end, this tool will provide you an area and a list of acquisition of products that could be the first possibility to relocate the vessel due to the satellite passes, orbits, and so on, which is calculating for you. It's an algorithm behind this that calculates for you, thanks to the kinematic of the vessel, where the first satellite could intercept the location of the vessel. For the first search and rescue, it could be very, very important, and for reactiveness, it's a key element. So now I would just want to show you, if you are interested, how to subscribe to the OceanFinder service. So just by clicking on the Google, okay, you type One Atlas, okay. Okay, so if you go directly on the website, because it's also brand new and linked to this webinar and the official launch of the service, you can go down to the thematic service or our One Atlas digital platform, go to OceanFinder. You have the possibility to watch a demo, and that means having a movie that will show you more or less all the functionality I showed you very lightly. And you have also the possibility to subscribe to different subscription plan, or as well to the pay-per-use subscription. And just by clicking on that, for example, you have to accept licensing and terms and condition, which is very common for many different service, I guess. And then the last step will be to enter and to fill this light form, and then that will begin the creation of your subscription creation. So now I will leave the floor to Etienne, who will run through some various applications for OceanFinder, and that will help you to understand all the different use cases.
Hello, my name is Etienne. I'm part of the sales team in charge of B2B maritime customers and partnerships. So we will go through a few use cases where OceanFinder can be used or where OceanFinder has been used already in the past, and where our, let's say, maritime surveillance services based on imagery have been used since now more than 10 years. So the first one is search and rescue, where we act more in the search part. We are tasked regularly to relocate ships or maritime assets in emergency in case of collision, failure, barge drifting, sailing boat capsize, for instance, hijacking or cyber attack very recently. It is very important for you to create your account in advance to be prepared in case you need to task OceanFinder in emergency, since it may take several days to create your account due to the vetting process at Airbus. Registration is totally free. You only need to you will only pay as you go, but you need to have an account already created. This is also the reason why we are looking for resellers, especially for this kind of emergency B2B requirements for the commercial and the private sector to improve reactivity and efficiency. So please get back to us and please contact us if you are interested and if you have a wide maritime customers network, because we would be interested working with you so that you can task OceanFinder for the customers who don't have an account yet. Most of the cases of search or search and rescue applications where OceanFinder will be used will require the activation of the Roche mode that we call emergency mode for this case, where you will need to task in emergency the satellite, and we will analyze the images and deliver the report to you in emergency. The next case that we want to highlight is the insurance application. Our services have been used to fight against illegal bunkering of oil, for instance, as well as tracking vessels in sanctioned areas, which is a very trendy request, or tracking vessels turning dark, which is also very demanded today. The combination of radar imagery and optics allows, in this case, optimizing satellite resources to cover large areas during days and nights when cloud coverage is not favorable to optics. Optical imagery is then used to classify and recognize ships and continuing tracking them in the area of interest. These services are used by lawyers, insurers, commodity traders, analytics, or intelligence companies. Most of the cases, OceanFinder will be used in emergency mode for this use case, or in urgent mode, as we said, the Roche mode, using a planned satellite tasking, but near real-time report delivery. OceanFinder's most basic and most used mode is the area monitoring. Customers generally subscribe to detailed hotspots of interest or area of interest, which can be, in fact, a quite large area of interest, and require a situation report on the area on a regular basis to monitor behaviors, maritime routes, fishing activities, for instance. Depending on the areas, a combination of the radar imagery, which will allow a very wide scanning of a wide area, or an optical imagery for more detailed, better resolution than the classification or recognition, will be used. No emergency is generally needed for this mode. This is the cheapest use case, which is using the standard mode of OceanFinder. OceanFinder service has been frequently used by our defense customers to detect drug trafficking. The agility of the optical sensors Spot and Pleiades have allowed several cases of drug traffickers tracking and identification, for instance, on merchant ships, on sailing boats, on fishing vessels. This is, of course, a governmental use case. Airbus managed to support the arrest of Somali pirates 2 years ago with its optical satellite Pleiades, thanks to the high resolution of this sensor and the very strong tasking reactivity and image delivery. Currently, most of the use cases that we are facing are in the Gulf of Guinea, in Angola, and Nigeria. And unfortunately, the number of cases is still growing. Again, creating your account in advance is mandatory to be able to task OceanFinder in emergency when the hijacking is confirmed. We absolutely do not advise waiting a few days to relocate the ship by other means, because the ship's location may become very uncertain and the area to search very large. So we advise to task OceanFinder as soon as the hijacking is confirmed, to keep track of the vessel. So in this case, tasking OceanFinder immediately is really mandatory. So we use the emergency tasking mode. And again, for this use case, we are really looking for resellers who are able to task OceanFinder for their customers. These customers having no account at the time they need it at the time of the hijacking. Regarding environment, most of the environment protection cases are addressed by OceanFinder are related to oil pollution, either coming from bilge waters, oil tanks, washing, cleaning, or from offshore oil and gas operations like oil slicks. In the present case, the radar-based imagery is mostly used by our customers, and of course is available through OceanFinders. Satellite imagery has been used for more than 15 years to monitor and detect illegal fishing. This is one of the most common applications of maritime surveillance through satellite imagery. The data fusion of fishing vessel detections based on radar imagery or optical imagery with the onboard sensors, vessel monitoring system called VMS, or the AIS transponders, allows to focus quickly on illegal fishing vessels. In addition, the AIS tracks analysis, which is of course available through OceanFinder, helps to predefine fishing areas before the tasking of the satellite. So this allows to better task the satellite and to task the satellite and to task OceanFinder on the right spot. OceanFinder can be used in this case in standard mode for regular activity monitoring and illegal fishing hotspots targeting, or once you know this hotspot, in support to operation mode, including standard tasking timing, but emergency delivery to allow the patrol vessels to go to operation and to act as quickly as possible. Most of our customers, of course, in fishing are the governmental bodies. So urgent requirement, typical governmental use case requiring OceanFinder used in two modes to support tactical operations at sea. In support to operation mode, including standard tasking timing, but emergency report delivery for quick tasking of patrol vessels at sea. So when an operation is planned, and when an operation is not planned, but when there is a crisis and we need the satellite imagery in a rush mode, we will use the emergency mode of OceanFinder, allowing tasking and delivering in a few hours of a report on a specific hotspot. So again, we are really looking for all these use cases, and for the market development and the commercial launch of OceanFinder, we are looking for new distributors. Even if we have an existing maritime distribution network, we are looking for new distributors with very good customer contact base to develop our service and to task OceanFinder for the customers who don't have an account. So for any further information, you can contact us through the email address intelligence-maritime@airbus.com, intelligence-maritime@airbus.com, especially in case of need of demonstration, or if you want to become a distributor, if you want to subscribe to the service, or if you want to become an early adopter. This is also an important point. We are really looking for new early adopters who want to test the system with us, to try to improve the system, and to to fine-tune the system and develop new services. So don't hesitate to contact us. The email address is intelligence-maritime@airbus.com. Thank you very much.